What if I told you that sometimes applying for asylum when you know that you'll probably lose could actually be a smart strategy? Here's something most asylum seekers don't realize. Getting denied at the asylum office might actually open doors to other forms of protection that could help you to stay in the United States. In this video, I'll explain 2 specific scenarios where applying for asylum, even knowing that you're likely to get denied, might make strategic sense. And I'll walk you through how to evaluate whether this counterintuitive approach could work in your situation. But listen, I need to warn you up front. This strategy comes with serious risks that you absolutely must understand before considering it. Seriously, this stuff is pretty complicated and the implications of what we are discussing can be huge. So you should really watch this video to the very end. You don't want to miss details in this nuanced topic. And listen, definitely do consult with an experienced asylum lawyer before deciding to move forward with this strategy. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. Let me know in the comments if you've got an asylum case pending, or maybe you're considering applying. And listen, I'd especially like to hear from you if you've been waiting for an asylum interview with USCIS for multiple years. Let me know in the comments how long you've been waiting. All right, we're going to explore a counterintuitive strategy that might make sense for some asylum seekers. We'll look at why you might want to apply for asylum, even when you know that you're likely to lose. I'll explain 2 specific scenarios where this could be beneficial, and then we'll discuss the ethical implications. And finally, I'll help you to understand the risks involved so that you can make an informed decision. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I apply for asylum if I'm probably going to lose? It sounds kind of crazy because losing at the asylum office normally means being put into deportation proceedings, which is normally not a good thing. But here's the thing. Sometimes, for certain people, getting into immigration court is actually desirable because immigration judges can offer forms of protection that asylum officers simply cannot. So let's look at the first scenario where this strategy might make sense. Cases involving the 1-year filing deadline. So under US asylum law, you must apply within 1 year of arriving in the United States. If you miss this deadline, you can only get asylum if you qualify for one of 2 categories of exceptions. They're called the extraordinary circumstances exception or the changed circumstances exception. Now, let's say that you have a really strong asylum case. Everything about it is solid except for this 1-year deadline issue. So you applied late and you don't qualify for either exception. So if you apply with USCIS, you're almost certainly going to lose because of the 1-year filing deadline. And when that happens, assuming that you don't have legal immigration status at the moment that this negative decision is made, well, they'll refer you to immigration court. Once you're in immigration court, the judge can give you something called withholding of removal. Now, this is similar to asylum, but it comes with fewer benefits. With withholding of removal, you can stay in the United States and work legally, but you can't petition for family members to join you here, you can't travel internationally, and there's no path to a green card or citizenship. Still, some people want to get this designation. They want to get their immigration situation settled and to get confidence about their future in America. The thing is, asylum officers can't give you withholding of removal. Only an immigration judge can do that. So while you might go into your asylum interview with USCIS knowing that you're likely to lose because of the 1-year filing deadline, you're applying because you believe you've got a chance at winning withholding of removal at the next level in court. And applying for asylum with USCIS is a route to be considered for this relief. And this is all because the 1-year filing deadline does not apply to withholding of removal. Okay, now let's talk about the second scenario where this strategy might make sense. Cases involving the Convention Against Torture, or CAT protection. Now, this is fascinating because it operates under completely different rules than asylum. So to win asylum, you must prove that you're being persecuted because of your race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or something called membership in a particular social group. And we call these the 5 protected characteristics, or the 5 protected grounds under asylum law. But you see, for CAT protection, you don't need to show any of that. You just need to prove that you're likely to be tortured and that your government will either be the one doing the torturing or it will turn a blind eye to private actors doing it. But as with withholding of removal, only a judge can give you CAT protection. Asylum officers cannot. So in this situation, applying for asylum with USCIS, pretty much expecting to lose, might make sense because it gets you in front of an immigration judge who can grant CAT protection. To be clear, there's no separate application form or process for these forms of relief that we've just talked about. You have to apply for asylum to be considered for them. And again, you can only get these things in immigration court, and applying for asylum with USCIS is one way to get into immigration court. Now, let me be very clear about something. This strategy carries significant risks. When you effectively put yourself into deportation proceedings, you're taking a huge chance. If you lose your case in immigration court, you could end up actually being deported. That's why it's crucial to have a strong underlying case, even if it's for a different form of protection than asylum. Also, note that withholding of removal and CAT protection can actually be withdrawn later down the road after they're given to you. But that is, thankfully, pretty rare. Okay, let me address the ethics of this approach. Some people may think it's unethical to apply for asylum with USCIS if you pretty much expect to lose your case. I don't agree with that, as long as you truly fear being harmed in your country. If you have a legitimate fear of harm in your country, but you believe you'll likely lose at the asylum office because of the 1-year filing deadline, or because maybe the harm that you fear would not be on account of or motivated by one of the 5 protected grounds, then I think that applying for asylum can be ethically appropriate. You're not lying about your fear, you're just using the system as it exists to seek the protection you need. However, and this is crucial, if you don't actually fear harm in your country and you're just trying to get into immigration court for other reasons, well, that's immigration fraud. It's not only unethical, but illegal, and lawyers have gotten in serious trouble for helping clients do this. Now, we see this a lot in the context of something called cancellation of removal. People try to use asylum applications just to get into immigration court so that they can apply there in court for cancellation of removal. And that's for people who've been here for many years and can show extreme hardship to U.S. citizen family members if they're deported. But those cases don't necessarily involve a fear of the applicant actually being harmed in their home country. So I discourage people from applying for asylum just to get into court for purposes of being eligible to apply for cancellation of removal. By the way, if you want to maximize your chances for asylum success, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss the insights that I share on this channel. Okay, let's talk now about how to assess whether this strategy might be right for you. First, you need to evaluate the strength of your underlying case. Whether you're hoping for withholding of removal or CAT protection, the burden of proof is actually higher than it is for asylum, so you need to be more convincing, not less. To be clear, these forms of relief are hard to win. Chances for approval are actually low. Second, consider how much risk you're willing to take on and how badly you want a shot at coming out of the shadows, so to speak. A shot at getting a work permit and to have a judge tell you that you can stay. Third, you absolutely must consult with an experienced asylum lawyer before pursuing this strategy. The nuances we've discussed today are complex, and the consequences of getting it wrong can be severe. You need someone who can evaluate your specific situation and help you make an informed decision. If you're ready to take the next step and get help with your asylum case, then please call my office today. That number is 713-909-0401. And remember, we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you live. Call us right now to schedule an asylum strategy session so we can help you to secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's truly an honor to serve you in your asylum journey.